Good evening, everyone. It's great to see such a large, multi-generational crowd. My name's Dawn Martins, and I'm a writer for Opera Canada magazine, but I'm also the host for Opera Night in Canada on the world's most amazing radio station, 100.9 Canoe FM. I have been a cottager in Minden all my life, and you can't imagine how excited I was when Highlands Opera Studio established itself in Haliburton, bringing together the two loves of my life, this beautiful part of Ontario and opera. It has been wonderful to see the young singers at Highlands Opera Studio perform opera classics as newbies, only to have the chance to then see them grace opera stages around the world. But it is my particular delight to welcome you to Let's Make Opera. Now, as an opera critic, I have had the chance to review many professional opera companies, but none of those performances have excited me as much as seeing this performance tonight. You and I get to see 4 new operas based on stories from the Highlands of Haliburton, and written, composed, and performed by artists right in this community. Tonight, we are truly buying Canadian, and I know you will be amazed by the creativity and sheer talent on this stage. Now, community opera is not a new idea. The much maligned but talented Salieri used community people from Vienna for his opera choruses, and Verdi himself used amateur musicians, dragging them from bars to work, to play in his performances. Now, by amateur, I don't mean that they lack talent. I mean that they don't make music for a living. Gilbert and Sullivan and Benjamin Britten also wrote operas for amateurs to perform. And although Mozart only used professionals in his operas, he did make his operas accessible to audiences by writing about everyday things, like we're going to see tonight, in the audience's native tongue, like you're going to see tonight, and also presenting to diverse audiences like you. So here we are, carrying on a tradition started by opera's greats, as we experience Haliburton's present-day operatic geniuses. We are honored to have some special guests, and I'm delighted to invite Laurie Scott, the MPP for Haliburton, Kawartha Lakes Brock, to say a few words.
Thanks, Dawn. I will heed Dawn's advice and just say a few words. It's an honor to be here at the Highlands Opera Studio. I was out earlier today in the south of the riding, and I said I have to go to Haliburton to the opera tonight. And as happens, they said there's no opera in Haliburton. I said, but yes, it has been here since 2007, so many years. So I have had the opportunity to come last year, I think, to do a Trillium presentation to the opera studio. And my trusty sidekick, Clara Euler, is behind me, and she volunteers for Trillium. And she's going to tell you a lot of details, but Trillium is an agency of the Government of Ontario, and I can't tell you how many community organizations Trillium has helped. It has been many, and the opera's been the recipient, and here tonight we celebrated again. But I say that because Clara told me I needed to say, any organizations, nonprofit, please apply to Trillium. You can apply once a year, different streams, details you can find out later. But the difference it makes in my communities, and here tonight, as Dawn has said, the enrichment of the local talents. For 4 different operas, I'm going to hear from local talents we didn't maybe know existed till Trillium gave them a little boost of money, and probably Valerie applied for this and had this great idea. So I thank Valerie for applying for Trillium again, because look at tonight, it's a full house, and you've been going since August, and that's just a boost to our whole community. So it's $97,000 that started kind of 12 months ago, 11 months ago, and thus you're seeing the product here tonight. I am for the first time. I think a few of you might have been or have heard about it before. So I'm here to say congratulations. Apply again to a Trillium, different organizations, because it's wonderful, and thank Valerie and her team and the cast of actors that you're going to see for making tonight magical and hitting all the right notes, we could say. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be here, and congratulations.
And here Euler, the Ontario Trillium Foundation representative for this evening. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here this evening as a volunteer with the Ontario Trillium Foundation's local grant review team. As many of you know, OTF is an agency of the Government of Ontario and one of the leading granting foundations in the country. OTF has been focused on building healthier, more vibrant communities through grant making since 1982. Thanks to the funds we received this year, we were able to award over 700 grants to nonprofit groups and small communities in our province. One of the applications that hit just the right note, with us was from the Highlands Opera Society. They presented us with a unique and imaginative plan we wanted to help. We just knew that we had to make this a reality. Funds from the $97,000 seed grant that they received last fall have enabled them to move forward with Let's Make Opera. It helped with the costs like staffing, mentors. I don't know how you people work with all these lights here. Hosting workshops, advertising and promotion, online programs, as well as set building and costuming. As a volunteer with OTF, getting to hear about the impact of one of our grants is music to our ears. Thank you for inviting MPP Scott and me to this wonderful event tonight. It shows the musical and artistic talent that we have in our own community. Congratulations and bravo to everyone. Thank you.
And finally, we have Valerie Kuinka, a woman of many talents who happens to be a professional violist, but is also a stage director who has worked for organizations like the Metropolitan Opera in New York, the Canadian Opera Company in Toronto, but has also directed productions across Canada and Europe. For 19 years, she has been the general and co-artistic director, project designer, and stage director at Highlands Opera Studio. I know of no one who works harder than Val. And here she is to say a few words about this exciting program that she has spearheaded. Val.
Thank you Dawn, thank you Lori and Clara. What a pleasure to be here tonight, and how nice that I can actually see you. I thought I was going to be in the house out mode where I can't see anybody in the audience, so it's nice to see you all here tonight. It's such an honor to receive support from the Ontario Trillium Foundation, and all of us at Highlands Opera are deeply grateful. I'd also like to thank all of you, all our Haliburton County donors, volunteers, and patrons who have supported us here in Haliburton for over 19 years. We truly could not do it without you. Thank you. I can't help but reflect at this point in time how far we've come from that year, 2007, when we established the program. It was a 2-week program with 7 participants geared primarily as a professional training program for young industry professionals from Canada. Gosh, to think that in 2025 we have grown to having performance and educational opportunities not only in the summer with Highlands Opera Studio, but year-round with the Highlands Opera Community School, which offers pay-what-you-can singing lessons, opera appreciation events, and this year, thanks to the Ontario Trillium Foundation, the Let's Make Opera New Opera Creation Project. Music is often referred to as the universal language, and opera has been said to be the way to express the deepest emotions and tell the greatest stories when words alone aren't enough. From the operatic stage, to church choir, to humming in the forest, to belting out your favorite tune in the shower, singing is an expression of the human spirit and is as natural and as necessary as breathing. Don't let the word opera put you off. It's simply the Italian word for work. It's not elitist, and you don't have to wear your best clothes. The positive impact of the funding this past year from the Ontario Trillium Foundation cannot be overstated. After the project was announced in December 2024, almost immediately we received just under 20 story ideas. From those 20, 14 were chosen in the first screening, and it was a very difficult job for the Let's Make Opera Review Committee to narrow it down to only 4 stories. Every stage of the creative process over the past 11 months, although not without its bumps, has been incredibly exciting and inspiring, culminating in the 4 profoundly beautiful and varied works you'll hear tonight. I would like to express my heartfelt congratulations to the almost 40 Let's Make Opera project participants who are all from Haliburton County, both on stage and behind the scenes, whose creativity and commitment brought these stories alive. I also wish to thank the incredibly talented team of Let's Make Opera project mentors who have joined me in working with the project participants during the various stages of the creative process. Those are Melissa Stevens, Lauren Margison, Danica Loren, Michael Murphy, Claire Thornton, and co-artistic director of Highlands Opera Studio, Richard Margison. I also would like to acknowledge 3 people who are very important to the Highlands Opera family, whom I left off the program. Those are David Archer, our box office manager, Dawn Martins, who is our wonderful MC and very much a part of our Highlands Opera family tonight, MC tonight, and lastly, Ryan Harper, who is our videographer this evening. He is up in the up right corner there, who is one of those 7 participants in 2007. So it's kind of nice to have Ryan here tonight recording this. Please join me in welcoming Janet Troll to the stage, who is the librettist, which is really just a fancy opera word, meaning the author, the storyteller, for the first opera you will hear tonight, to Women at the End of the Line. Join me in welcoming Janet Troll.